Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I have no fucking plan at all. I probably should have went to the P.O. box, but it's Saturday, and it was closed. So on Saturday, it's the last time I went, so I didn't even try. I know it's not like totally related, but I've had big dog fever recently. I've wanted a dog a little bit recently. Are we gonna look at dogs? No, 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 no. Stop. Stop. We can't, dude. If we end up doing some shit like that, like looking at like dogs or something like that, you guys are gonna get me in big trouble. Okay, you like not stream or trouble. You're gonna get me in fucking house trouble because I'm gonna end up fucking getting, or I'm gonna end up having too much of an urge and end up getting something, and I'm gonna end up, you're never gonna see me. I'm gonna fucking end up streaming like half the time. I mean, at some point, I do plan to, but that's in the further future, not the near future. Dog breed tier list? Yeah, but a dog breed tier list is tough because everything is either like an A or S or A, or like a B because you just really don't like the look. Like the lowest it can go is like a B. There's like no bad, like it's not like cars or food or some shit. There's no bad dogs, They're just like, for example, I don't like poodles that much. They're a lot of upkeep. They're not like that active, at least in my experience, and they're like, they're cute, but like not my type. But they're still like really good dogs, Yeah, cats, I don't know. I think cats are cute, but I don't think I would have one just because like I don't know. They're very self-sufficient, which is fine. Nothing's wrong with that, but I don't know if I'd end up wanting one. Like I feel like cats like just kind of hate you and use you for food, That's I don't know. If you can appreciate living with a little asshole, then you'll do well with cats. Yeah, but I'm the little asshole, so like, you know what I mean? Every dog has the possibility of technically being quote unquote a bad dog. But it's not a bad dog, it's a bad owner. And especially small dogs, because they're so small and like less threatening, people won't behavior correct, so they'll just let them run out of control. So that's why like the little chihuahuas and little shits like end up being the most mean, is because a big dog does that, they'll get in big trouble. I've never met a good chihuahua that just yap, rat, bark terrible and shit on your rug. Okay, this just like triggered a core memory. But when I was like 13, my mom and me lived just us, like my parents got divorced at this point and stuff. My neighbor and her were like good friends, and I like went to school with him, and like we were cool, but like I always knew deep down he didn't like me that much. We just kind of like now lived across the street from each other, so I was like convenience to him, and I understood that very well in the relationship. They were both very into card readings. Do you know what I mean? It's like tarot card readings. And so there was one time we drove like an hour to someone's house, and it was like, this house in my brain still makes no sense. So like, do you think of like like houses like in LA that are very small and very short, like, they're like not very wide, they're only one story, you know what I mean, but they like go back a little bit, they're small. It was like that, but then when you open the door, it was a big house. I still in my brain can't ever figure out how that worked. But I remember we had to like sit in the living room, or like this living room area, quote unquote. And it was like the kitchen, this big ass living room. There was like a huge TV, like some other stuff to do. And we had to sit in there, and they went in the other room to like do tarot card readings or whatever the fuck. And they had two shitbag chihuahuas. And the two little shitbag chihuahuas were so fucking annoying because they would bark at every car that went by. They barked at us. They would come over and like pretend to like be like, they would want like pets. And then you'd go to pet them and they'd try to bite you. I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, what is this thing? Like, it would literally jump up and like try to be like friendly and like go to like lick you and stuff. And you're like, oh, and you go to pet him. And then he would just like fucking snap at you. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, just stay the fuck away from me then. Jesus Christ. So yeah, ever since then, when I was like a kid, I've always kind of not been a big Chihuahua fan, but I know it wasn't the dog's fault. Do you ever get much fan art? I don't really. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Like this, okay, it's gonna sound kind of terrible. I have zero eyes for art at all. I don't value it. Like, realistically. Like, I'm not saying it doesn't have value, but in my eyes, my own personal eyes, art doesn't really mean anything to me. And you would actually kind of be able to tell that if you like looked around my apartment, because a lot of people's apartments, like they have like decorations and they have like, you know, little paintings and stuff like that. The only things that are decorations in my whole apartment are things that my mom just came by and like left them places and didn't tell me. And then I was like, what about the time people put into art? What about it? Maybe you're not like kind of understanding me. The amount of time you put into art doesn't mean that I now all of a sudden like art. That has zero correlation. I'm not saying you're like, fuck your art, burn it, like throw it in the dumpster, like, you know, go outside, throw it in the rain. I'm telling you that in my own eyes, I'm not a big like I don't like paintings. I don't really like art. Like, it's not something that stands out to me. That has nothing, like it could be like a $10 million painting that you spent like your whole life painting. I'm not going to value it. Like, I would never pay anything close to that, you know? Like, nothing's wrong with that. I don't think. I don't know. I feel like that was kind of a little bit of a loaded question, but maybe I'm wrong. He's like 5 likes in a 2-minute sketch that does 200. I'll share you a little content creator magic. It's happened both at my old job and in today's world. And Retro, he's in the shadows, will be able to account for it. But let me tell you, the things that you spend weeks, hours, days, months on always end up being the like almost quote unquote disappointment in comparison to something you just threw together in 3 seconds and then it pops off. It always happens. Anyways, that's kind of my thing on art. I mean, I don't mind fan art. Like, fan art's fine. I don't have a problem with it. Like, nothing's wrong with it, but it's not something like I'm gonna go out of my way to like encourage or anything like that. If you want to do it, nothing's ever gonna be wrong with that. You know, maybe I'll even see it. You know, you're always welcome to share things, but I'm definitely not gonna encourage people to do it because I don't want to like hype it up and be like, oh, like this is so cool, and then like someone's like, holy shit, they liked that, so I'll make them one that's similar, you know, and hopefully they'll like mine. And it's like all of a sudden I'm almost living this fake life of like, you know, yeah, your art's really good, I liked it a ton, like, you know, like, thank you so much, you know, I appreciate that. And then it's like the next person's like, wait, that was sick, so let me do one too, and he'll like mine. It's like this, it starts this never ending cycle where I'm almost like living a lie at that point, you know. So I'd rather just tell you like, hey, you know what? It's really cool. You could do it, and you're more than welcome to. And I have big pog to you. That's awesome. But I'm just not an art person. Period. Have you seen your Overwatch chat on Discord? You think I look at my Overwatch chat in Discord? Why would I do that? Okay, realistically, right? You understand? I'm a human, right?
If you were looking for games,
who doesn't like
Jackbox with chat?
Unbelievable amounts of social interactions. Why my Discord DMs are closed, so people can't DM me all day long, because that's not what this is. It's not like having a Discord and having places for you guys to talk about things that you're interested in. It's just being a good way to have a cultivated community and let you guys talk amongst yourselves about things that you might be interested in when I'm not around. There are literally thousands of messages that goes in there, and the Overwatch channel is by far the worst. It's not even close. Like, okay, so let me talk you through the progression. Ready? When I was a smaller streamer, when I was a little smaller streamer, I was like a 200, 300, 400 viewer max Andy. Spectating bronzes went shoom through the roof, took off. Thing fucking went bananas. My Discord server swelled from 2,000 people to over 12,000 in a month. Do you know what it's like when you not double, not triple, not quadruple, but can quintuple your population in a month? It is basically lawless land. It's still consistently around like somewhere, I think like 12 to 15,000, if not more. And that is a lot of people with a lot of opinions and a lot of time. And the Overwatch one is by far the most controversial, because you have people that just spew everything, aka how they think they'll fix the game. Like, okay, like this isn't meant to be rude, but I'm not a dev, and honestly, the devs don't care. Like, okay, I wouldn't say they don't care. They don't care about random, made-up fucking, like, I think this is the way. That's not what they look for. They look for pain points. If you're like, yo, I think this is shit, tell them why you think it's shit, not how to fix it, right? That's the thing I've learned. Even though I still do sometimes, I'm like, you know, I think this would be the way to fix it. That's for content. That's not actually for fixing the game. Like, that's for me to explain to you as the viewer and as the public, like, hey, if I was the one who was doing this, this is probably what I would do. That's not how actual game design works, though. They're not looking for you to solve their problem. They're looking to figure out what the problem is, and they come up with a solution. Granted, there's gives and takes, right? And I know I'm getting a bit off track here. I'm getting a little bit off track, but like, there's gives and takes, right? Because realistically, I like to think I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I know the game pretty well, but not everyone agrees with me, and that's fine. Do I still think that I'm still correct when I'm in those times where people are like, no, you're just dumb? No, yeah, a lot of times still, yeah. Not every time, but a lot of times. But take that and put it on a grand scale, and you now have everybody who's like that, right? So it's like, even though I think I could be right with it, and I feel like I have a good take with it, if everyone's like that, who actually has the good takes and who doesn't? Hard to say. Point is, though, people will like send me these long, intricate emails, DMs, whatever it is, and they're like, Flets, I came up with the most ingenious way to fix Moira. And they just have like a fucking essay. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with that? You know, like, what do you want me to do with that, dude? Like, am I just gonna fucking copy and paste it and send it to Aaron Keller himself? Yeah, I'm sure he'll fucking read it.